Coach Bill Walsh said, I don't fear failure. He said, I fear success, because success is what breeds complacency. And dude, I think back to times when I was failing gloriously in my life, and my darkest moments when I was failing, when I was demoted, going through a divorce. I was paying on a home that no one even lived in anymore. Every day was a fight. And so because it was a fight, man, I had to fight every day how to figure out how to make a month. I had to fight on how to get off the bottom rung and start becoming successful again. I had to fight in order to be creative and not pay my bills late, and how to make a month stretch. Every day was a fight, man, in order to how was I going to eat healthy yet cheap, and the stress. Every day I had to fight off the stress, man. And so I would get up early in the mornings and I would go run. I would come home late at night and get on the road in the pitch black, just running, man. I had to lose myself in thought. I had to sort things out because I felt like I was going to go under. I was fighting to win. But see, when you win, the failure isn't what you should fear. It's the winning that you should fear. Because when you're failing, it's a natural fight. The failing is what creates the target. It gives you something to shoot for. But what do you shoot for when there's nothing in front of you to shoot for? What do you shoot for when you're no longer fighting, when you're winning? Because see, failing is what creates the hunger, and when you have that hunger to get off the bottom, man, to get off the bottom rung, to push off, to reach up higher. When you're failing, man, that creates the automatic target. When you got the hunger, and the hunger creates the fight. But it's when you're winning, when the house sells, when things get settled, you're making a little more money, you can eat a little better, run a little bit less, take a few more days off and rest a little bit longer. See, that's complacency. You give yourself a little breathing room. Too much breathing room. And complacency, bro, is like a gas, man. It creeps in, and eventually it'll choke you out. It'll choke you out. It'll choke out all your success. It'll choke out all your winnings. So I think that's why you got to have opposing mindsets, because when you're failing, you automatically have that mindset to fight. And if you don't, then get it. Every day you got to fight. You don't, just because this is where you are doesn't mean you have to stay that way. But it's when you're winning, you have to have that failing mindset. And the failing mindset may not be the fight that you were once having to fight against. Maybe you're no longer having to fight to figure out how to come up with bill money. You're no longer having to fight on how to come up with a car note. You're no longer having to fight on how to figure out how you're going to eat. You may not be fighting against that, but one thing is certain. What you're fighting against, if you have nothing else, the target you should be fighting against is the complacency. It's the complacency. You got to fight against that, because if you don't fight against complacency, you could end up back what you fought against once before. You're fighting so you never have to fight against those things again. Success is the thing you should fear, not failure. Have an amazing day. Stay in the sales life.